My name is Brian, and welcome back to Desert Theory. Well, it's been a wild couple weeks since jackpot. I actually missed one night out here, so this motor got back in the car without me. Walt, Jared, Rich, Dan, and Kelly got the motor back in. That was awesome. So tonight we're moving to the Transaxle. So Kelly and I are going to get that in. You notice we have our new flywheel and pressure plate on there. Those look perfect and much better than the ones that we didn't have installed correctly last time. So Transaxle's going in, and it's a hot one. It's 88 degrees in here. We have the doors open, we have a fan on, and we have a lot of bugs that have entered the shop. So it'll be kind of an interesting night, but man, we're just excited to be here. Excited you're along with us. So thanks for watching.
Here you go, Bri.
Okay, you're dropping.
Coming down. Okay, we're on the top studs. It's like...
So on this motor Transaxle, there's just two studs that we're sliding on right here. And then underneath there's going to be two bolts.
So I think it needs to come down just a little bit more, Brian. It's kind of pulling up on those.
Drop in.
There you go. So now we're just getting that clutch. Let's see if we can get that clutch aligned on that input shaft. Got into the CV grease.
So remember, the CV grease is like a mixture of grease and never sees, basically.
It just gets everywhere.
But
But it means it doesn't go anywhere when it sticks. Yeah, it does work good. Okay. Does it feel like it's still... No, it's actually pretty good. So you might have to take it out and spin the input shaft a little bit. We got it. Okay, try that.
Okay, hold on one second. Can you hold that right there?
Yeah.
Hold it up. All right, so what Kelly did right there is the input shaft right here on the Transaxle. See how it's got grooves in it?
Splined? Yeah.
Splined. So those grooves have to go into the other spline and they have to line up. And so it just wasn't going in there. So hopefully we got it right, and it was just kind of hitting like that. So we'll get it to where it goes in. All right, guys. It's hot. We're turning on the AC. You can see that it's a fresh new model. So we're gonna let that run for a little while, see if we can get it cooled down in here.
What you just did.
CV. Hey, Grace.
I'm not the only one. Come on, baby.
Oh, she's still high, Brad.
Okay.
For sure.
All right.
Work, Brian.
We got it. Hopefully our AC isn't too loud. Kelly's adding some fluid, so we're gonna get this Transaxle all bolted up. This Transaxle attaches at a lot of points. So there's two spots on the frame. So it'll get bolts in here and here, and then it has two studs that go through there, up top. See if you can see that, two studs up there, and then a couple bolts down here. So has a lot of stuff attaching it, just keeping that thing really secure. It takes a lot of abuse, a lot of torque from the motor and all that. And so they just try to really keep it secured in here. So Transaxle's back in. We're starting to work on the plumbing. Kelly's working on the wiring and plumbing. So we're just kind of getting this all tied back together. And so this piece went back in. It's tied to the top of the Transaxle. And that's kind of how all this stuff cruises across here. For those of you that watched it before, you got to see it when it was all done. It hasn't cooled off a lot tonight. We're still 80 degrees in here. Doors are still open, still bugs everywhere, but we're having a blast. Car's coming together pretty good, and it's gonna be a roller. On Sunday, we should have this thing fired up, warmed up, and then be checking the valves. So we're gonna go through all that. We're gonna meet out here real early on Sunday, try and beat the heat a little bit. So should be a good day. All right, internet, welcome back. Well, this morning was pretty productive. We started at 6:30. It was a whole bunch of greasy, kind of boring work. So didn't fire the camera up. We got these axles and CVs back in, and we use that never sees, and it is just the worst stuff for getting everywhere. So we had the camera off. Last time we totally got our camera screwed up. We had so much of that never sees everywhere. So we got that all put back together. Kelly did a great job on this wiring. Just really like the way that it turned out. Everything's kind of pulled apart. You know, we use these grommets so nothing's rubbing on each other. So no wires are chafing against something sharp. It looks really sharp. So, so now we have to do engine oil, we have to do transaxle oil, and we need to do coolant. And actually Kelly just got the coolant done. So our next step is we're gonna take our oil pump and we're gonna run it with a drill and prime this motor. And the reason we're doing that is because we had this all apart, all the oil is drained, and we don't want to fire it up with no oil moving around everywhere. So we'll get that oil pump running. It's going to pump oil throughout the motor, and then after that we'll be able to grab some fuel, put it in here, and start this thing. Okay, here we go. So Kelly's running that drill right now, and I'll stick the camera in here, and you can see the oil pressure on the car go from 0 and up to, like, I think it was almost 60 pounds. All right, Kelly, hit it. Good. 65 pounds. Oil moved all throughout the motor, throughout all these different lines, right? We have all these oil cooling lines. So that's a lot better for a motor to start up after all the oil's everywhere. So that's pretty awesome that it's worked. Milwaukee.
The right angle drill adapter for the wind.
Okay, so what we're doing right now, we started the car up, we warmed it up, and we're setting valve lash. Now the reason we do that is so our valves, the exhaust and the intake, open and close at the correct time. So if it's too loose, it's not right. If it's too tight, it's not right. And we're not getting full compression. If you have like it closes down that cylinder and everything to where when it fires with the fuel in there, it gives you the best amount of compression, the most power. So Kelly's just doing that right now.
Yep, so I got the feeler gauge in there, and we're just setting it and retightening. There's a little set screw, kind of runs up against the push rod, and then you got your feeler gauge in there. So tells you, okay, that one's set at the proper. Okay, so they're both intake and exhaust.
Set them about 2 thousandths apart, different. So exhaust obviously gets a little hotter.
Now, so we started the motor up and ran it, and the reason we did that is because this is aluminum heads, aluminum block, so everything expands. So you gotta start it up, warm it up, get everything kind of to where it's gonna be during a race day, or when the engine's running it hot, and then you set it from there. So we're just kind of working our way through that, and we'll do that for the next few minutes here. All right, guys, we're wrapping it up for today, calling it. We started at 6:30 this morning, like you said. We got a lot of stuff done on here. We are getting down to air filter, skid plates, just tidying up a little bit more wiring, just kind of going through and looking around. It's getting really close, and this is exciting. This is maybe even more exciting than last time. This race, we're gonna have Zach Johnson. He's gonna come out. We're gonna meet there a few days early. We're gonna get him a little time in the car, and then he gets to race his first race in an off-road race car. So we're just ecstatic about that. We can't wait for that. Gonna be pretty cool sharing desert racing with somebody, and hopefully with a bunch of other people that watch him, and they'll get to see it for the first time too. So excited, can't wait. We're pumped. So probably 2 more days of working on this thing, 2 more nights anyway. And so, but that's it. Thanks for following. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much. Nope. That's not true anymore. Zach Johnson will not be making his driving debut with Desert Theory at the Knolls 250. Zach is going to have to stay home and work on his farm. Zach's busy. He's busy on a normal year, and you take a year where his farm gets hit by a tornado and he's rebuilding sheds, finding new equipment, moving LP tanks, moving diesel tanks. He just doesn't have the time to make it. So unfortunately, we are not going to see Zach this following weekend, but the weekend after that, I'm going to meet up with Zach in Bristol, Tennessee at Cletus McFarland's Bristol 1000. Robbie Gordon also has a stadium truck race there, so it's a awesome event. I can't believe I'm fortunate enough to get to go to that, so that's going to be exciting. But before that, we have the Knolls 250. Can't wait to see you guys there. Instead of being a co-driver with Zach, now I get to be a co-driver with Kelly, and then a driver, and Kelly's gonna jump into the co-driver spot. So get to drive my car for the second time. Can't wait for it. Just super pumped. It's just a few days away now. Can't wait to see you guys and take you there. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.